What's up, everybody? Welcome to Gotta Cast 'em All, a Pokemon podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Andrew Beller, aka Major Gains, and I'm joined by the guy that knows probably more about Pokemon than I do, Wolfstalker25. How you doing, Wolf?
I am doing good. I'm doing good. Excited about Pokemon Day. Hopefully, we get some crazy news this week.
Yeah,
How about yourself?
not bad. Very, very tired. For those who don't know, who are just now tuning in for the first time, I just recently had a newborn about 2.5 weeks ago, which is taking up so much of my free time. It's absolutely insane. But I kind of would have expected that. It's a newborn. I mean, she really can't do much without me and mom. So we're just kind of making our way through day and day, trying to find time to do stuff like this. And what better time to do something like this than the 25-year anniversary of Pokemon with Pokemon Day coming up February 27th. So that leads me directly into what we're doing today. This entire episode is going to be dedicated to what we want to see out of the Pokemon Day event. So for those who don't know, Pokemon is turning 25 years, or 25 this year on February 27th. And what we're going to be getting that day is uh, a year-long P25 music program with a virtual concert that only Pokemon and Post Malone could bring you. This massive online party is an exciting opportunity to unite Pokemon and music fans around the world. It's going to be a wild celebration of Pokemon's 25 years with lots of unexpected surprises in store. Make sure you stay tuned in at the end of the concert for more thrilling P25 music announcements. So basically, on YouTube and Twitch at on I think it's Saturday the 27th, or is it Sunday the 27th? I'm not really
Uh,
sure.
Saturday should be.
Saturday. Okay,
Yeah.
at 7 p.m. Eastern time, there's going to be a big 25-year anniversary stream for Pokemon. They haven't really said what is going to be happening. They just kind of right there. I just read it is a music celebration, which is weird. But from our sources that we've gathered through different, Twitter posts and people that always seem to know what's going on, like with the leaks and stuff, they should be releasing stuff throughout this week leading up to there. But a couple things that we do know is you can get a singing Pikachu in Sword and Shield. Add a special Pikachu that knows the move Sing to your team in Pokemon Sword or Pokemon Shield. You also will be able to join the Pokemon Go tour. So basically, you embark on a Pokemon Go journey inspired by the Kanto region, and then tune into Pokemon TV to watch a collection of music themed episodes of Pokemon the series. So that's everything that we officially know from the Pokemon website. I mean, cool, I
Yeah.
guess. I would
Nothing
rather them talk
crazy.
more about, announcements because we know we're going to be getting something this year besides Pokemon Snap, which we're going to go on a little bit too. But I mean, I guess what I'm going to ask is let's just start by Wolf. What do you expect, or what would you want to see from this 25-year anniversary Pokemon World? Let's go, whatever they're calling it.
There, there's so much. Obviously, we've had 25 years of this series, this fantastic series that obviously everyone loves. And we're getting the Post Malone thing, and I think we're getting a Katy Perry concert at some point.
Yes.
Maybe I thought they said too. So we're seeing some stuff. I personally, from the video game side of things, obviously we're getting Pokemon Unite, we're
Yep.
getting Pokemon Snap.
Yep.
Pokemon Sleep is still a thing, I guess.
Oh
Uh,
yeah.
so we have that. There's the mobile games. Pokemon Masters, I think Masters EX or something like that is what they're calling it now. There's
Hmm.
Pokemon Go's got stuff going on. Um but I just want to see Switch stuff.
Yeah.
I we have Let's Go and Sword and Shield so far and Sword and Shield's DLC, which is great, but I want Virtual Console.
Hmm.
I want Virtual Console Pokemon games. Um I would like them to take all the DS games
Yeah.
and virtual console them. Heart Gold, Soul
Absolutely.
Silver, Black and White 2, Diamond Pearl Platinum, even virtual consoles I would take for those, but
Yeah.
honestly, I want to see Diamond and Pearl remakes,
Yep.
but I don't know if I want exactly remakes or if I want like a Black and White 2 style of thing with Diamond and
Oh.
Pearl. So like almost a sequel to them. Like that's kind of my biggest thing I really want for like Kanto. I really want a Kanto series game that is like 20 like 25 years into the future from black or not black blue and red, like
Yeah.
give me something like that. So if they did something like that with black and white, like a multiple year into the future style game. Just not an exact, like, I don't want an exact remake like one for one. Like, I want something else. I don't want Dynamax though.
Right.
I would
Yeah.
rather have Mega.
Okay. I
I
agree
I
completely.
think I would rather have Mega Evolution. Um, and then what else? Up a little bit on my end. Up a
Okay.
little bit on my end. Oh, you're still, wow, super quiet. What the hell?
Yeah. What the hell, Dave? Come on. So while you're messing with that real quick, I agree with a lot of what you're saying. I would absolutely love some sort of uh I, almost even like an Alpha Ruby Omega Sapphire type of deal where it's not exactly a one for one remake. It's it's the same game, but they add in a bunch of new things. I mean, I know you said you really don't want Dynamaxing, and honestly, I agree. I would much rather have something else like see a return of Mega Evolutions or something like that. But if they were to keep Dynamaxing, I could see how they could use that, come into play with all these things because then you could make Palkia and Dialga, these larger than life monsters that are, messing with time and space and stuff like that. And they're being affected by the, the Dynamax powers and stuff like that. I could see them kind of doing like what they did with Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. But at the same time, I also wouldn't mind it just being kind of like Heart Gold Soul Silver, where it is just a reimagining of Diamond and Pearl, but on the Switch with, in the
Yeah.
Pokemon Sword and Shield engine, obviously redefined, as we've seen with Pokemon Snap, which is in that engine, but it's so much more crisp, right? It looks so much better than Sword and Shield did.
Oh
Not that
yeah.
Sword and Shield looks bad,
I
but
I
what?
definitely agree with that. Like the snap end, the well, not really snap end, but snap from the trailers looked so nice
Yeah,
compared
I
to
know.
like Sword and Shield. Like Sword and Shield doesn't look bad. The
Mhm.
environment looks kind of but like
Yeah.
the environment and the Pokemon themselves just looked fantastic in Snap from the
Oh
trailers.
yeah, dude, it's
So
insane.
if we
And it
do get a Diamond and Pearl remake though, or remaster or whatever, I don't want them to be easy. Like that was the
yes,
problem with Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire. They were very easy.
yeah,
And it was just very handholdy. Like they flat out gave you a Latias or Latios depending on your game, I think.
yeah.
So I don't want that. I want these games to be challenging, like what Sinnoh is known for, is being hard. Like they have the best champion in the entire franchise. So
Yeah.
like
Right.
I want this to be like a difficult remake. I don't want it to be handholdy, and that's a problem Pokemon's really had lately. Is they've been really catering towards the younger audience,
Yeah.
and it's causing the longtime older fans to not really have as much fun, I guess, with the games or difficulty with the games. Like, I mean, it's the same thing. Like, it's been the same game for 25 years. Like, so it's like I want challenge at this point. I would love a challenge mode like what Black and White or Black and White 2 had. They had a harder difficulty. I would
Yeah.
love that at this point, but I would love to just have it right off the start. Like you could just choose from the start of the game instead of playing through it on an easy version first. I want to play through it on like a hard version. I don't even
Yeah.
care about the easy mode at this point.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. I don't even understand why Pokemon's never given us that option to pick, like an easy mode, hard mode, or whatever. And I know a lot of people say that they do with the starter Pokemon, especially in Red and Blue. Bulbasaur representing a little more of the easier side because the first two gym leaders are weak to him. Squirtle being the same, and then obviously Charmander, I guess technically being hard mode because the first two gym leaders can just
Yeah.
destroy you, sort of thing. But that's all we've really gotten until Black and White. They did add. I don't even remember what it was. Didn't they add some sort of feature after you beat the game? You unlocked something that made the game
Yeah.
more difficult.
Something like that. I never did it. I don't even remember. It's been so long since I've played um Black and White,
Hmm.
Black and White 2, so I don't remember any of that very
Yeah,
well. So it's just at a point where it's like they need to do something to make it a little bit harder because like Sword and Shield were so easy that it doesn't make me want to replay through them. Like I've still never finished my Sword playthrough because it was just the same thing. Like, it's like I didn't want to go back through the same game over again when it's so easy the first
yeah,
time. Like
absolutely.
I I'm tired of these, like, especially like when you look at like X and Y, for example, like their eighth gym leader had like 3 or 4 Pokemon. Like, I was just
I know.
I was just talking to someone or a group of people like a couple days ago, and I was saying that like the eighth gym leader should have 6. The
Hmm.
Elite Four all should have 6.
Yes.
Even the seventh and maybe sixth gym leader should have 6. Like, I'm tired of like, especially the first gym. It's like they have 1 to 2 Pokemon sometimes. Like, give it like 3 at least, maybe even
Yeah.
4. Like 4 should be bare minimum for gym leaders. Like, why are these people that are supposed to be testing the trainers of the region just cakewalks? Like,
Right.
I want that to be a little harder. You don't even have to do a more mature storyline. Like the stories are like fine, they're good. They've been better lately because they've been focusing a lot more on like the legendary aspect of the game. Like the legendaries giving them more lore and backstory, which is great.
Hmm.
But I just want the games themselves to be a little bit more difficult.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I don't see what's wrong with that. And like you said earlier, you hit the nail right on the head. They're catering more towards kids.
Yeah.
And I get it. Pokemon is, we were kids when we first started playing Pokemon. Like I understand that, but it's 25 years old this year. The IP is 25. So your initial fan base has grown up. Okay? Give us something a little more grown up. I mean, you could still do like the Let's Goes, and those could be geared more towards children. I'm not asking for something that's rated like, R or anything like that, like M for mature. Like I'm fine with the E rating, a 10 plus rating, that they give them every time. But like, give us more substance,
I want a
like
rated M Pokemon game now.
Pokemon X Grand Theft Auto. Where's it at? Come
Yeah.
on, Rockstar, looking at you. But I mean,
Pokemon
do you
beating
think
each other
maybe it's
down in the
because
streets.
what?
I was just saying Pokemon beating each other down in the streets.
Oh my gosh, dude, that'd be horrifying.
But what
Do
were
you
you
think it
saying?
has something to do with the fact that it's Game Freak has been in charge for so long? Like, do you think that maybe if they like sold, not sold the right, like gave up and like someone else came in, like a different studio came in, like, do you think that we would see any kind of a change? Like, do you think this is Game Freak doing this, or do you think it's Nintendo going like, we've had this partnership for 25 years and we've been extremely successful together. Let's continue doing it, but on our terms, sort of thing. Like, I wonder who's the one that's sitting there putting the pressure on to make these more quote unquote kid friendly games, because
Yeah.
there's definitely someone up top that's doing that and it's working, because every time a new Pokemon game comes out, it's the best selling Pokemon
Oh
game,
yeah.
just about. You know what I mean? Like Sword and Shield did amazing and good for
They're
them.
I think they have reached the second or third best high slot, like highest selling slot of any
Yeah.
Pokemon game now.
I'm gonna look it
Which
up.
which is crazy. Like I think I saw it on Cerebi recently. He posted on Twitter about it saying that they've hit like number 2. I think they passed like gold and silver now, and they're like right
Hmm.
under. I think red and blue is the best selling, maybe. I'm not
Yeah,
sure.
red and blue is the best selling. I just saw that.
So
So go on.
that's great, but it's like how many of those games have been sold back though or returned? Like just because like
Yeah.
they've made that number, like how many of them went back? How many of them got played once and dropped immediately? Like how many of these are consistently played games? And I wouldn't even count like the YouTubers that are doing it for their job or the Twitch streamers that are doing it for a job. Like, do those people really enjoy it that much, or are they just looking for the paycheck at that point?
Yeah.
So it's like that consistency level of play, like how well is that? And especially with Sword and Shield, they had such a dumbed down online compared to like the X and Y friend option that they had. So it's
Yeah.
like I personally I like Dynamax Adventures. I think it helped Sword and Shield a ton, but after so many, they do get a little stale now after it's been out for a couple months.
Yeah.
So, like, they never like if that game had like a rotating like list of Pokemon that you found in the caves or something like that, or different ones that you could get off the start,
Yeah.
like your starter ones would be better. But like, I feel like they sell great, but I wonder if they're just like too afraid to like scare off the fan base.
Yeah.
Like, like they get a lot of flack whenever they do anything different. Like Mega Evolution came out, they got a lot of backlash for a while. Everyone hated them. Why are these a thing? These are stupid. You're copying Digimon, blah blah blah. This is happening, that's happening. But when you think about it, it's like a couple years later, once no new megas came out, like when Sun and Moon came out, everyone's like, "Where are all the megas? Where'd they
Yeah.
go? You gave us this feature. Why are you not adding more to it?" It's like people liked it then. I don't think anyone cared about Z moves leaving. Z
Yeah,
moves are just
right.
kind
Yeah,
of
I
like
agree.
they were eh. Dynamax, like it's great, but I don't really have like it's not like the megas were cool to me. Like Dynamax is just like, oh, Pokemon get big. Like
Yeah.
it's like it's nothing crazy. It's just Pokemon get big, have more health. It's not like anything fun. Like I don't enjoy that feature. So, but like to talk about the younger audience thing, I think it's just the fact that they're catering to the young audience because they know that they can keep using the same formula for 20 years and not and get away with not really implementing too much change. They're
Yeah.
just like, if it's not broke, don't fix it type of motto, you know?
Exactly, 100%. That's what I was going to say earlier. And I definitely see that being, the thing. It's like they're ranking in literally millions of dollars a
Yeah.
year on this business model that they've put out, and like you said, maybe they're just afraid. And I can see that being the thing. Like, again, they are making so much money. Why would you change it?
But look at Let's Go. Let's Go
Yeah.
got a lot of flack, and that was different.
Mhm.
So, I mean, a lot of people loved it, but a lot of people didn't like it. Like you had all the Go players that loved it, but all the main series fans weren't really a fan of it. They're like, "Oh, I'll do this to transfer my Go Pokemon over from Kanto," but like other than that, I'm not really gonna play this. Some people
Yeah.
shiny hunted because it was easy, but like a lot of people didn't really care.
Right. So real quick, we were talking about which games are the best selling ones, and so Sword and Shield's actually pretty far down on the list. I was not expecting that. It's actually so I'm not gonna read all of them that are above it, but it's below Gold and Silver on the Game Boy Color, and it's below obviously red and blue are the top selling, but like red and blue, and then um even Diamond Pearl Platinum sold more.
Is it? I thought it had passed up the second. Is that a recent list?
You know what? I don't know. You could be absolutely right. This is from so it's called fandom.wiki.pokemon and it
Okay.
just has them in order by millions.
Yeah. Who knows? I thought I saw on Cerebi recently that they had passed Gold and Silver, but
So gold and silver was 23.73 million, and then Sword and Shield, according to this, is 20.35 million. But this could be an older list. You're absolutely correct. It could have surpassed. I mean, if the guy from Cerebi said it surpassed, I'm gonna believe him because I've been following Cerebi for like 15 years. This dude's a genius. I love him to death. So,
yeah.
but I mean, and like we were saying, if it they're going to do what they're going to do regardless. And you and I are still going to buy them year after year. And we're
Yep.
going to keep playing them because it's been, I mean, I don't know if you have been playing them for 25 years now, but I don't, I don't even think I have. I think I definitely could say 20 years of my life, two
Yeah.
decades have been 100% committed. The only, like, I'm talking about main series. I didn't play a lot of the spin-offs, like Mystery Dungeon. I'm sure you probably dabbled, but
I
real quick.
tried. Wasn't
Yeah.
really a fan.
The only game that I've never fully finished was Sun and Moon.
Yeah.
And I have a copy. I've got a 2DS upstairs by my bed, and I've got a copy of Ultra Sun or whichever one. I don't know which one I have, but I started playing it. I had a really good time, but then I put it down and just kind of forgot about it. And I don't want to go back to it.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is about those games. We've talked about it before on a different episode of this show, but I don't want to get too much into the weeds on that. But yeah, so continuing on really quick, I wanted to talk a little bit about Pokemon Snap. So it's been months since we recorded a Gotta Catch Them All episode. Life just kind of got in the way. I want to try to do this more often. I really do, because this is something that is very near and dear to my heart, like we've been talking about. I love Pokemon more than anything. It's one of my favorite franchises. And one of my favorite Pokemon games growing up was Pokemon Snap on the 64. And you better believe, when we got that first trailer, I freaked out. And the trailer came out after we'd already stopped. So real quick, let me just read a little bit about Pokemon Snap. A new Pokemon Snap is a sequel to the Nintendo 64 Pokemon Snap game, and it's coming to the Nintendo Switch in 2021. This completely new game will take trainers on an adventure to unknown islands overflowing with natural sights such as jungles and beaches where they can research various Pokemon in their natural habitats. They will take photos to make their very own in-game Pokemon photo decks, all while discovering new, never-before-seen Pokemon expressions and behaviors. In this game, you go to the Lental region to help Professor Mirror and his assistant Rita to investigate the mysterious Illumina phenomenon that's affecting Pokemon in this untouched paradise. There are over 200 Pokemon available to take photos in the Lental region, each with gender variants and each different forms included. And we mentioned it earlier. This game looks amazing. It's so crisp. The art is so good. I cannot wait for this game. And it launches April 30th, 2021. Wolf, what are your first initial thoughts on this? Are you excited? Are you buying it day one? I know you are. What am I saying? What are you
Um,
thinking?
I don't know because I never
What?
played Pokemon Snap. That
Really?
was on what, the N64?
Yes, sir.
So I never had an N64 growing up. My first Nintendo console that I had was the Nintendo Entertainment System that was just in the house my parents had before me, but the first one I had actual home console was the GameCube.
Okay.
So I never got to play Snap. I recently, well, not recently, like probably like 5 years ago, maybe even like 8 years ago now, I got an N64, but I never got Snap. I got Pokemon Stadium, which also was kind of rough looking at that because it's so old, but like a lot of
Yeah.
people love that game. But looking at the game graphically, looks great.
Hmm.
Um, I don't know how much I'll be into it just because there's no like it doesn't sound like there's battling. It just sounds like you travel around and take pictures of Pokemon, which is like that's cool, but I think that'd be more for the younger audience at this point.
Yeah.
And it's also a nostalgia game for anyone that played the original Snap.
Exactly.
So they're hitting hard on nostalgia there, but since I never played it, it doesn't really hit nostalgia for me. It just I like the way it looks graphically. It's a very pretty looking game, and it makes me excited that they're leaning towards that like graphical aspect that they're doing. But
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. I might get it day one. I don't see it dropping in price at all. It probably wouldn't even drop until like Black Friday. If it
Yeah.
did drop at all, and even if it did, it'd be like $10. So if I get it, I get it. I might get it a little bit after I wait to see what people say about it, just because I don't want to like jump the gun on it,
Hmm.
and grab it too early. But what
Okay.
do you think about it so far?
So you hit the nail on the head again. You brought up nostalgia, 100% for me. I spent so many hours playing Pokemon Snap with my good friend, childhood friend of mine, and just trying to get these pictures of Pokemon in different ways because like they had little like it's on rails, right? You're
Yeah,
in this little cart, you're driving, and basically what you're doing is you're just taking photos of Pokemon, exactly what it's like, and you're filling up the photo decks. And it was cool because if you took pictures of Pokemon at certain times in like when they were like doing certain things, if you caught them at the right moment, it would cause a reaction to happen. So there was sometimes, oh, you could like I think if I remember correctly, you could throw like fruit and stuff like that to them too to kind of get them to interact with you a little bit more. And I remember there was like different ways to get them to evolve by throwing them things or having them do stuff. And then I remember a specific level where Mew is like it's in an ice cavern and like Mew is like hiding. You got to try to find it and stuff like that. And it was just a lot of fun, you know. And I'm really looking forward to doing that again, but with so many new Pokemon and just using um the Nintendo Switch because I'm sure you there's probably going to be ways where you can use the motion controls or you can like how you would play Breath of the Wild, and use it to like aim your bow and arrow with the Switch. I'm sure you can do that to take photos or you can use just your Joy Cons and stuff like that and use the joysticks and stuff. But I'm just really looking forward to seeing, you know, what are the 200 Pokemon that are in this game and what can you do with them? And it's
yeah,
really cool that they're going to have different gender variants and different forms included and I don't know, man. It's just so much fun to just sit back and just take pictures of Pokemon. I know that sounds kind of weird, but it really is just kind of relaxing. And I feel like this game is going to catch a lot of people off guard. And it's going to be I think it's going to be a big selling game for Pokemon because one, nostalgia, like you said, and two, because it's Pokemon.
yeah.
So,
I think younger audiences will really like this one probably, I would assume. So like I was saying, like you even just said, the nostalgia factor alone is gonna bring in all the old timer fans of the
yeah.
series and anyone that loves Snap, and then it's just gonna be a great, like, maybe, I mean, it might even be a good family friendly game to just sit down with like the someone and their kid just sitting down and playing the
Yes.
game and enjoying it together, letting the kid play it and see their reaction to seeing all these Pokemon, or even the parent playing it and the kid like just watching the kid's reaction to like seeing all the Pokemon. um
Mhm.
I'm sure there will probably be some sort of motion control feature, which me personally, I'm not a fan of motion control, but
Yeah.
um, I'm sure they'll probably have some sort of interactive thing to make it even more exciting on the Switch. I'm wondering, do you think this game will get DLC and they'll add more Pokemon in, and maybe like future islands that you could explore.
I think that would be a really good idea. I think that that's something that Pokemon really needs to take advantage of. This landscape of gaming. I think they did a good job with the DLC for Sword and Shield, and I think they could use that going forward with Pokemon Snap as well, and putting out two different um, new islands, kind of like what they did with
Yeah.
Sword and Shield. And I think that's a really good idea for them. I didn't even think about that.
I think I remember a while back people like were speculating on that. I don't know if it was leaks or if it was just people like talking about it back when the game got its trailer. But I mean, I think that'd be a great way. Like, I mean, obviously, a lot of people are bummed that all the Pokemon weren't in Sword and Shield, and there's still not all of them in there, and that will never happen at this point. But
No,
um, with Snap, that's a perfect game to limit the number of Pokemon. I mean, like you could have
yeah,
the 200 base in there, and then implement a new island, and then hey, there's 100 more to go explore on this island. Take new pictures of them, and maybe old pictures of different Pokemon, like find them again and like retake
Mhm.
pictures of them. So I think it's a really cool thing that they could do, and that game I'll probably get it at some point. It might be within the month. You said what was the date again? April
April 30th.
30th. Okay, so I might get it in May. So maybe in May, just after like a week or two of it being out, see some trailers, not trailers,
Yeah,
see some gameplay, see some reviews, and then probably pick it up. I think it'll do very well.
yeah, I agree. So one last thing, that was kind of everything that we know of that we are for sure getting. You hit a lot of the points with all the games that are coming out and stuff like that. But one thing that we don't know for sure are some of these leaks that we've been talking about and hearing about all over the internet. And there's one that's kind of standing out. We talked a little bit about it before we went live. So this is from a Twitter account called Centro Pokemon Leaks. Um, and here's a tweet that they put out. We haven't been able to verify the following with our additional source, so take it with a grain of salt, but here it goes. There's two things. One, no Pokemon collection is planned for this year. And two, there will be an Arceus episode. Now, Wolf, do you want to take a moment to kind of explain what he's talking about with this Arceus episode for those who
Sure.
don't know what the episodes were from previous games?
So, the RCS episode is, I'm assuming it'd be named something different. Um, and it's a reference to the episode at the end of Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire. Spoilers if you haven't played them, but they've been out for a while, so I don't really care.
Yeah,
But there was a thing called the Delta episode in those games where you got to go up into space and capture and fight Deoxys.
yeah,
First time I believe that a mythical Pokemon has been obtainable in a main series Pokemon game without an event, part of the game itself, which
right.
I thought was a fantastic idea because in my opinion, all the mythicals should be obtainable in some sort of game at some point in time. Like I
Yeah,
know Celebi is obtainable in I think the Crystal Virtual Console game on the 3DS,
yeah.
which is fantastic. I think all of them should be at some point in time. I think it's kind of irritating that you have to rely on events to get your Pokemon that
Mhm.
are mythical. But it would probably be an event at Spear Pillar in the Sinnoh region in Diamond and Pearl remakes or Platinum or whatever they want to call these games, where you'll get I think it was called the Azure Flute, and you'll
Yeah,
probably climb this massive glowy step or do some crazy adventure thing where you'll encounter Arceus or Arceus, however you want to pronounce it, and
right.
you'll be able to battle it and probably capture it in game. So it'll probably be post game, maybe like an hour, 2 hour worth of content. Um, Maybe even less, could be shorter, who knows. But it'll be a post game thing where you get to capture and battle Arceus, which I think is really cool that they're actually doing it with Arceus, because that was always my thought process if they did a Diamond and Pearl remake, is like they have to do an episode with Arceus. But
Yeah.
if they're doing Diamond and Pearl remake, I really hope that they incorporate the Platinum story and build Garantina into the story
Yes.
itself. Because if they just do a story with Dialga, Palkia, and then Garatina's just off in a cave again, and then they do this like Arceus episode, and then Garatina's like, "Go find me in a cave," that's all. Like, there's nothing crazy with him. Like, I hope he either is incorporated into the story, or they do an Arceus episode that deals with Garatina and Arceus, and maybe
Hmm.
they're clashing, like Garantina's coming out of the distortion world, and Arceus is like, "No, go back where I put you, Demon Spawn. I
Right.
put you here.
Exactly.
Stay there." And then you get to maybe battle both or something. Like, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Like,
So when they say the Arceus episode, are they talking about for Sword and Shield?
No, that would be for the whatever games come out this year. So probably Diamond, like let's say Diamond and Pearl remix, if they happen this year. Post game, there would be an RCS episode that would be a part of it.
Gotcha. Okay.
So it wouldn't be for Sword and Shield. I don't think it could be, but I highly doubt it. It'd be for the new game. They'll probably
Okay.
like Sword and Shield. Once the new games come out, Sword and Shield will probably be like left behind, like they always do. They always just move on to the next game. So
Yeah. So one last thing before we wrap this up, because I unfortunately do have to get going. It's just a little bit of a shorter show, and also too, there really wasn't too much to talk about. We'll have plenty more to talk about on the next episode. But I wanted to ask you, so if we are going to get the Diamond and Pearl, whatever this year, when do you think that they're going to show that? Do you think it's going to be during this week, or do you think they're going to show something this summer at like E3? But they're going to do like what they always do and have their own separate Nintendo slash Pokemon Direct. What are you thinking?
if we get an announcement this week, whether it be Monday through Friday, because it probably won't be Saturday,
Hmm.
um, I think we get name drops at the very least. I think we could see a small cinematic, but this year is big for them. They know it's big for them. They're
Yeah.
trying to go as big as possible with Snap, Unite. Pokemon Go's got a Kanto update right now. If we do get Diamond and Pearl remakes, and I don't even think that's all we're gonna get, I think we might still see Virtual Console or maybe even like a small, like maybe even like Let's Go or something else. Like I think we get at least one main series and like other things, whether it be the collection or not. I think that we see something with the possible remakes or whatever actual game is. It's probably going to release in November, like always, early mid November.
Yeah.
But I think we see something small to medium sized this week, and
Okay.
then they'll go big on it in the summer. They'll show more. I just hope that they don't show everything. I kind of want to be.
Yeah.
I still want surprises from them. Like that's kind of always my favorite thing with Pokemon is like when there's a surprise. Like I would love to see like we've obviously had Galarian and Alolan forms. I would love to see some sort of Sinnohian form
Yeah.
and like get maybe Gen 3 and maybe Gen 5 versions of Pokemon and see Sinnoh forms of them and then they're incorporated into the world. Just for the love
Hmm.
of God, if we get Diamond and Pearl remakes, please put more fire types in this region. There's always been so little. I want
I
more.
know. I
Um
know.
but yeah, I think we see something. I think we're gonna get the names for sure, but I'm pretty sure we're gonna see a small little trailer. They've
Yeah.
been they've
I
been hitting heavy on the Sinnoh starters lately. They've been promoting them all over the place, so it's like there's no way it's not Diamond and Pearl remakes at this point.
yeah.
What do you think we're seeing?
I I agree with you. I think throughout this week we'll get a little teaser of something. Is it going to be Diamond and Pearl? I don't know. I think we're going to get more Pokemon Snap stuff for sure. I think we'll get another trailer for Snap. We'll get a little more in depth on kind of what's going on and stuff like that. Maybe see some more footage of it, some new Pokemon that we haven't seen yet in previous trailers. If we do see Diamond and Pearl, it'll just be an announcement. It'll just say,
Yeah,
it'll just be the names of them, and it might be like kind of what you said, a little tiny trailer, like a little animated trailer of Dialga and Palkia, and
yeah,
then it'll just say like whatever, like Diamond and Pearl, Pokemon Diamond and Pearl, and then 2022. I don't think we'll see it in 2021. If we do get something, but at the same time, it's like I don't know because it is the 25-year anniversary of Pokemon. So you'd think they're going to give us something, and that something, honestly, that I want is what you talked about earlier in the episode is virtual console stuff. Put all of the Nintendo DS games on the virtual console
yeah.
for like $20 each. I don't care. I'll buy them. I want to play some of those through some of those again. Like Black and White are two games that I love dearly, and I haven't really gotten a chance to play those in a very, very long time because I'm not fortunate enough where I was able to hold on to a lot of my games because I did have a fire in 2016 that completely wrecked me. I lost a lot of stuff, but I would love to go back and play through some of those older games, and that could be a big way to not only introduce a whole brand new generation of Pokemon players to those beloved games, but also appeal to a lot of the older generation like ourselves who liked those games and don't have a way to play them anymore because they don't want to spend fifty
Oh my
dollars
god,
on like eBay or
they're
something.
so insane. Like you go looking for Heart Gold and Soul Silver, they're like $70 on GameStop pre-owned. It's
Yeah.
nonsense. Like I just would love to see virtual consoles for all the DS, even the 3DS virtual console games, Red, Blue, Yellow, Gold, Silver, Crystal. Just port those to the Switch. Just find a way to make their home feature instead of working with Bank or whatever, or instead of working with Bank, just make it work with home. Just find a
Yeah.
way to incorporate it. Put all those on there. Even the Game Boy Advance ones, like Emerald, Ruby, Sapphire, Fire Red, Leaf Green. Just throw those on there.
Yeah.
They're so old at this point. In any of the old cartridge games, they take batteries, like that stupid
Mhm.
disc battery. It's like just put them on the 3DS
Right.
or not 3DS. Put them on the Switch. Make them virtual console. Figure out their way to incorporate them to home, where you could trade the Pokemon just up to home, and then they can't go back, and then we're good. All this like they could easily put all of Pokemon on the Switch. Like,
Absolutely. There's no reason that they're not on there.
yeah.
It's like they don't want to make money. I don't understand because those are going to sell. They're going to sell. They're going to push units. I mean, not units, but digital sales are going to be through the roof.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I think everyone would buy. Like, there's so many people that buy all of them anyway, so it's just they would sell immediately the second people saw that. Especially if they incorporated those, like, let's say if they did like an Emerald re-release or something like that,
Oh
and they
my
found a way
gosh,
to
yeah.
like put Jirachi in game, and like they
Hmm.
gave you little reasons, like let's say a Yellow remake gave you Mew in game. Like they found
Yeah.
little ways to put the mythicals in there with like little events or something like that inside
Yeah.
the old games. But yeah, I definitely think that. And then just to hit back to the Diamond and Pearl thing, I think you're right with the trailer. I think we'll see just like a little like flash of Dialga and Palkia's faces, and then it'll be like Diamond and Pearl re-release, come back in the summer 2021 for more info. Like they'll
Yeah.
just be that, and then obviously I think they come out this year. I don't think there's a way where they don't release them
Hmm.
because they've
I
been
completely
working on
agree.
them for at least like probably 3 years.
Hmm.
So maybe 2 years. So they're coming out this year, I think, 100%. There's gonna be a main series game this year. There's no way that they leave us hanging. But
Yeah.
before we
Well,
before we close off though, since
yeah.
it is the 25 years of Pokemon, what's something about the series since it's been so long that's like your favorite Pokemon memory?
Like just my
Just
personal favorite
anything
Pokemon memory.
Pokemon related. What's your like favorite Pokemon memory?
Oh man, I guess honestly, it could go back to being in high school and playing Heart Gold and Soul Silver with a friend of the show, Nate. We spent so much time playing those games, whether it was battling each other or just playing through them again and watching an old YouTuber, a PokeTuber named the Killer Nacho. We would watch his gameplay, of the games, and he would do a lot of online Wi-Fi battling. And same with Shofu and Hayden. That's kind of how I got into wanting to make content for with Pokemon and stuff, watching those guys. And I just remember, especially learning more about like the EV training and the effort values and stuff like that, just getting so in depth with all of that and having a little notebook that I carried around with me to keep track of all the EVs that I was getting, like how many, like I killed this many Geodudes for, to get this defense stat on this guy and stuff like that. And like just doing math and stuff like that and just really diving deep into the the inner workings of those games, and then eventually getting to the point where I built a team and was playing competitively online, not doing the best because I didn't know that you had to get perfect IVs and everything like that too, but
Yeah.
just doing all those kinds of things really just made me fall even more in love with the games, and just the countless nights, hours, even with another friend of mine growing up, we would play through like Emerald so much, like trade and just like I don't know. I just spent a lot of time, summer vacations, a lot of time glued in front of either my DS Lite or a Game Boy Advance SP. What about you?
Mine's an old one. So my first Pokemon games that I ever got were Yellow and Gold. I got them
Yeah.
on a birthday together with the purple. I don't know if it was like a special Pokemon edition Game Boy Color, but I
Mhm.
had a purple Game Boy Color that I had gotten with like this really sick gold and silver like Game Boy Color case that had Lugia and Ho on it, I think.
Yeah.
But my favorite like thing related to that would be like I had a friend that I used to live by, and he had one of the Pokemon games, one of the Kanto games at the time. I don't remember what it was, but he ended up trading me. He had this Haunter, and I didn't know how Haunter evolved in the games because obviously this is
Hmm.
back in like early 2000s, 90s, and I'm like 6 years old, 5 years old, and um, he ends up having his link cable. He comes over. We're hanging out either at his house or my house or whatever. We're playing the game. And he's got this Haunter, and he's like, "Oh, I don't want this thing." I don't know if it wasn't like what the deal was with him, if it wasn't like obeying him or something like that, or like what. But he was like, "Yeah, I don't want this." He's like, just give me whatever." And he was like, "Oh, just go capture a Pidgey and give me a Pidgey." So I trade him a Pidgey for this Haunter, and evolves into Gengar. First time I've ever had an evolution like that happen. I'm a
Yeah.
little boy, and I'm just like, "Whoa!" And I like freak out, and I'm like, what was this thing?" And like spooky weird shadow thing, and I'm like, "Oh, it's Gengar. Oh, sweet." And like this Gengar, like it was like, at the time the Pokemon anime was really big, and I'm watching this as a young kid, and Ash has this just jerk of a Charizard that won't listen to him. And since I'm so low in this game, and I've got this evolved Gengar that's like level 30ish or something like that, and I'm lower in the badges, and it's traded, so it's not obeying me. And it was like this like weird resemblance. So it's like, oh, my Gengar is like this Charizard. It's just not listening to me. So it became like my favorite Pokemon I've ever
Yeah.
had in a game. And this thing was like randomly, it had like Thunderbolt on it. I don't know why I gave it Thunderbolt, but I just remember this Thunderbolting Gengar that just decided to always disobey me while playing these games as a kid. And it makes me so sad that there's no proper way to get that Pokemon off of that game, because I would
Right.
love to trade that up to Pokemon Home and have it. I
Yeah.
know there's weird methods to go about it, like where you could like rip the save file out of the cartridge and dump it on the computer, and then like you could somehow get a hacked 3DS and like put it into the virtual console save of Yellow and then transfer it from there. But it's just such a nightmare to deal with that. So it's like,
Hmm.
but like that, just all the countless hours. And then just like one little other thing was when you, me, Nate, and then two friends of ours, obviously Zach's been on some of your podcasts before, but his brother Tyler, um, when we went to those GameStop tournaments
Yep.
for
Black
what
and
was
white.
it? Was it Black and White? Yeah, and we had
Yep.
like the tournament with Heart Gold and Soul Silver, and I
Hmm.
just remember going through that and like being at that tournament, and then they're like, "Oh, we need everything to be level 100." Then for some reason, like someone brought like we bought like an action replay from that
Yep.
place, and we're like,
Yep.
"Everyone needs to get their Pokemon to 100 to make it fair." So people are just rare candying their Pokemon for like 30 minutes to
Hmm.
do this tournament for some reason, because no one was ready and GameStop wasn't even prepared for it, and we were just like, "Oh, this is crazy and fun."
Yeah.
Like just like the little stupid memories like that are just probably some of the best things. But I guess for like anyone, on YouTube, since no one's probably watching on Twitch right now, but anyone on YouTube that sees these later on either of our channels, are you going to post this on your channel?
Yeah. It's gonna be
Okay,
on our
so
YouTube.
anyone that sees us, like, let us know in the comments your guys' favorite
Hmm.
Pokemon memories from the last 25 years. Like, what got you started? What's something that, like, still to this day is your favorite thing about it?
Yeah, absolutely. Please, please do that. And we'll talk about it next episode if we get any. I would really hope. If not, I'm gonna reach out to some friends and ask them the same question, and I'll read them on next episode. But thank you so much for joining me on this wonderful episode back. Unfortunately, I do have to get going, but it really was a lot of fun kind of just talking to you about all this stuff. So, if you guys didn't know, this is Gotta Catch 'Em All, a Pokemon podcast. I was going to say check back in next week, but I don't know what time we're going live next week. But you can find this on twitch.tv/ Big Boy Little Boy Gaming, or Wolf is co-streaming it over on twitch.tv/ wolfstalker25 if you want to catch us live. I'll be posting about it so you'll know when we're going. We'll talk more about it and kind of figure out a game plan, because we really don't know what's going to be happening. If there's going to be an actual live event, are we going to watch it? Are we going to wait until the following day to record an episode?
It could be
But just
nothing. Like,
exactly, it could be
it
nothing. I
could
mean,
be nothing. It could just be the Post Malone concert, and that's all we get.
if we get a couple things here and there throughout the week, obviously we'll do a roundup of the week next Saturday and kind of talk about stuff. But I'm trying to get in more of a way that I do more of a schedule where I can do this with you at least once a week, if not once every other week, because I absolutely love talking about Pokemon with you. So I
Yep.
want to keep this up. But thank you guys so much for joining. Make sure, Wolf, where can they find you?
YouTube.com. Oh, wait, is it youtube.com slash? I think it's DWolf Gaming still. YouTube.com/ DWolf Gaming. Um, I can change that URL, but it's if you just type in Wolfstalker25 on YouTube, you'll also find me
Yeah.
that way. But either one, and then Twitter, Wolfstalker as well. So.
Beautiful. Well, thank you so much, guys. Everyone in the chat, have a good night. Be safe. We'll talk to you later. Bye.